You know what's great? Going to a game. You know what's not great? Parking at a game. With Uber, you can turn event parking into a non-event. Just install the Uber app. Enter your destination, confirm your location, and within minutes, a car will pick you up. I know, right? With upfront fares, you can know the price before you go. And you pay with the Uber app so you can save your cash for the souvenir shop. So make tonight a fun night. Install the Uber app now and take your first ride today. Uber, the better way to get there.
You're tuning in to the Goldilocks presentation of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show with Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony Rodriguez, aka Walking Crow, found transformational energy healing through a personal search into healing and was transformed by this experience. He made the decision to pursue training and has since become a certified energy healing practitioner with an emphasis on working with clients in recovery from addiction. His willingness to be open and listen has allowed him to be of service to many who seek a peaceful, serene, and healthier body, mind, and spirit. Call in now if you would like to speak with Anthony. The call-in number is 713-955-0332. Enjoy this transformational and healing show.
Well, happy Tuesday, and welcome back to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, a.k.a. Walking Crow, and glad to have you back. Wow, what an incredible time of year it is. It's we're just past the new moon. We're coming up on the winter solstice, which is in a week or two, I believe 2 weeks. And it's a time of letting go. It's a time of renewal with Christmas. It's a time of renewal and beginning new with the New Year's. Plenty of stuff going on, and people are having a hard time out there. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about what we can do to enjoy the holidays without falling into the trap of depression. Depression, anxiety, fear, worry about what it is you don't have that you can't give, or give what you got. Give your personality, give your love, give your voice, lend your back, lend your hands to somebody that needs help. The holidays aren't for times of depression. The holidays are for times of renewal and family and being with. And if you don't have a family, if you don't know who to be with, find somebody, or you know what? If you want to be with, you can call in today at 713-955-0332 and be with me, and be with everybody who is listening in to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. Now, hold me, be here now. What is it you're feeling? What is it how is it you'd like to feel? How is it you'd like to not feel? And how can you do that? How can I walk through a depression or the anxiety of not having enough money seemingly for the holidays to buy gifts that people don't really need? And that's the thing. People don't really need gifts. Give the gift of a smile. Give the gift of a kind word. There's not enough of that in this world today. We saw what was happening on Standing Rock in North Dakota. Well-meaning people, I guess, hosing down with a water cannon. Well-meaning people, other well-meaning people, in sub-zero degree weather and causing all kinds of havoc and health problems for them. And there's nothing kindly about that. There's no Christ-like in that. Those people have to go home and face their wives and kids, and I feel bad for those families. Wow, that they would be doing things like that. Well, anyways, enough of that. Just to know, and I'm saying that just to know that I support Standing Rock, and we're having fundraisers here in Los Angeles at different points of time to be able to support those folks in North Dakota. Anyways, I already said this, but I'm going to repeat it again. If you want to call in at 713-955-0332. Today's show, what can we do to enjoy the holidays without falling into the trap of depression? Depression is real. There's people out there who talk about depression like it's no big deal. And depression, I can tell you from personal experience, is a monster. There was a time when I lived in Tennessee. Yep, there was a Mexican-American guy living in Tennessee, and it was me. I was a deputy sheriff there. I was married to a girl from Tennessee, I think I went back there to drop her off at home. I don't know. She found somebody else. But that's neither here nor there. I came back from that time, those 2 years in Tennessee, and I landed back in Los Angeles, and I was at a point where I was so broken. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to get out of bed. I just wanted to be in bed with the covers pulled over my head. And I know how debilitating depression can be, you know, and you don't want to get caught up in that. And if I can help in any way, please feel free to call. You know, call the 713-955-0332 number and ask questions, and call in and say something, you know, and ask questions and get a chakra reading and spend some time talking about the things that you're afraid of that affect you, you know, or reach out to me at Anthony at sacreddrummedicine.com. Feel free to, you know, I can give you a 20-minute consultation free. It's not going to cost you anything. You know, if we can do that over the phone once you contact me through email, we'll set that up for you. Well, anyways, palabra, word, aho mitakiasi. I'm stepping back into last week's show, and I'm starting this show with palabra, word, and I'm going to be in my word. And when I say that, I'm going to talk about my truth. And you've already heard a little bit my truth of my past marriage, my past depression, and how hard it was. But I have to tell you, coming out of that depression was just as easy for me as falling into the depression, because what I did was all those things that I didn't want to do, get out of bed, go to church, go to work, see friends, go to meetings, go to, you know, see my sponsor, on and on and on and on, all those things. As much as I didn't want to do them and I couldn't, I did them. They were the things that saved my life, the things I just didn't want to do. I didn't know if I was capable of doing it. I didn't know if I was capable of being in my power. I didn't know anything about my power at that time. In fact, we're talking about almost 20 years ago. I'm a different man. I'm a different person. It's a different time. And I have a different medicine, you know, and my medicine says, you can, Anthony, you will. You're the well-rooted tree that won't be knocked down by the four winds of depression, anger, fear, anxiety, stress, whatever however many there are, you know. What is it that you're going to suffer with? What is it that you suffer with? Are you suffering right here, right now? I'm hearing a lot of chatter about, you know, depression and suicide and other things at this time of year, and it's quite interesting because it's a time for joy, a time for letting go, a time for preparing for rest, winter, aho, wisdom, direction of the north, medicine, aho, and it's time for preparing for the springtime, March, you know. It's time for gathering. It's time for getting close to people. It's getting cold. Huddle up with somebody and get warm. You know, laugh and share and talk and speak. Share some food. And if you don't have enough food, find somebody who may have more than they need. You know, and if you have more than you need, share with that brother that if you know he's going without, share with him. Be with him. Give to him. Or sister. Or children. Or elderly folks, our elders, there's a lot of our elders who are going hungry right now and they're going to be cold, you know, and we need to check up on them. We need to look in on them, you know, and see how they're doing, make sure they're warm, make sure they're healthy, make sure they're well fed, and make sure they're not lonely. Because I got to tell you, when I was in Tennessee, I met a couple named Hunk and Elsie Daring, and they lived across the street from where I lived. And Hunk was telling me that Elsie had divorced him, and then Elsie was working with people who were elderly and who were in the home, and she would go over there and spend time with them every day. And he said, Anthony, do you know what those people die from? And I said, starvation. He said, no, they die from loneliness. They die because no one comes to see them. No one spends time with them. You know, so what they did was they got back together. They remarried, and they opened their house up across the street from where I live in Morristown, Tennessee. And they brought in people to live, elderly people, or elders, to live with them. People who had already lived a lifetime, who have so much medicine and so much knowledge. They brought them into their house to live with them, so they wouldn't be lonely. So they would have each other, so they would have somebody to care for them and nurture them and watch over them. That's what our elderly need, just like that's what our children need when they're at home in the afternoon after school by themselves and there's no parents and there's no guardian, there's no one there to watch over them and raise that child. Our older folks need that help too. So if you have an opportunity, visit a facility where folks are being, basically warehoused and left to die. They don't have to die that way. We can go in and make a difference. We can go in and sing songs. We can go in and share some food. We can go in and share stories. We can go in and listen to their stories and ask them for advice because they've seen it all. Those folks that are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and even, yes, into their hundreds, that have so much medicine to give us. Go visit them. Let's go out there and take a look at, see what they're doing and what they have to offer. And I was shared this with a close friend of mine who I mentioned last week on the show, as a matter of fact. I mentioned Laura Macias. And right after the show this last week, at the end of the week, she called me and we got together. And she's the woman I said that one of the few people in the world that I would take a bullet for, and that's true. And she called me and we spent the day together. She needed some help with her car, and I was here, and I said yes. And then we went out to see her father, who's living in an assisted facility home in Toluca Lake, California, over in the San Fernando Valley. It's a little suburb of Los Angeles. And we went there, and I visited with him, and I got to share some energy with him. I got to, he can't speak much, but what he could say, I understood. And I could understand his look and what he was giving me with his eyes. And what I understood was I didn't go there to get something. I went there to take something, to give something to this beautiful man, Ernesto, who is 90 years old now. He just celebrated 90 years old. And what happened was I was the one who came away with a full heart. And I'm sure he had a full heart too. I got to hold his hand and feel his grip at 90. He's a proud man and he was a soldier. And, he grabbed my hand and he held on, and I just allowed him to hold on and show me who and what he is. Gosh darn, I got to put my hand on his shoulder and then on his heart, got to allow energy to flow between the two of us. And it was just beautiful, and it was exciting for me. And it just reminded me that our elders need to be looked after and taken care of, just like they took care of us for a lifetime. What is it you're going through? Do you need help yourself? Dial in. Call me, 713-955-0332. We're coming up on Christmas in a few weeks, and the hustle and the bustle is starting. People are trying to keep up with the Joneses, or trying to keep up with the times, or with social media, or the media is telling you that you need to go out and buy and spend. And do you need to go out and spend and buy at 23%, APR? Do you? Do we? No, I don't think so. You know what? Go to the market. Spend the money you would buy. You would spend on groceries, and spend $10 extra and buy a ham or a turkey or some vegan food or some vegetarian food, and invite people into your home. Invite your friends and say welcome. Make some hot apple cider, make some hot chocolate, make some coffee. Some sparkling water, something that you can, have a toast over. Toast life, toast happiness, toast the medicines. The abundance of medicine. Yesterday, I went out to the Arroyo Seco, or the Lower Arroyo, here in Pasadena, and on my walk around the Rose Bowl in the Arroyo, I came across an abundance of abundance. My little brothers and sisters that fly, my brothers and sisters that walk, my brothers and sisters that crawl, and even the brothers and sisters that swim there in the pond around the golf course where I was walking. They're part of the abundance. And I got to pick up some acorns, pocket full of them, as a matter of fact, and I use them for tools of teaching. Those of you who are trying to let go or having a hard time trying to let go, I use this acorn for teaching because it's the acorn where the mighty oak grows from, but it doesn't grow from a green acorn. The acorn has to die and dry in and of itself to become the mighty oak. And we're the same way. We have to die in and of ourselves And so we can become the mighty oaks and become who we're going to be. Become the eagle, the hawk. Become wolf. Become crow. You know, I had to die in and of myself to become walking crow. I hope. You know, and so the acorn reminds me. It's a constant reminder, and I always carry one in my pocket. And when I come across people who or needing some medicine, and we talk and we spend some time talking, I give them an acorn and I remind them, listen, we have to die in and of ourselves so we can grow. What are you ready to let go of? Are you ready to let go? Are you ready to move forward? Move forward. Right hand, divine masculine. You know, are you move forward? Are you ready to move forward? Are you ready to move forward so you can receive? The left hand, divine feminine, to receive. What is it you're willing to receive and let go of at the same time? It's ebb and flow. You can't do one without the other. You have to let go to receive. And receive to let go. Need to move forward, you know? So what is it that you want? What is it that you want to do? So there's the acorn. And I also came across a cedar tree. And I don't like to just walk up to a tree and start taking stuff from it, because I offer medicine. I offer tobacco. I offer ceremony. I offer drumming, and I offer songs. I do those things in a good way. And as I was walking, I didn't have to even go near the tree. I walked by the tree, and the cedar had fallen on the floor from the winds that were blowing earlier in the week, and I got to pick some up and put it in my pocket and take it with me along with the acorns. Medicine, abundance, goodness. It reminds me, this is the time of plenty. This is the time of plenty. We just celebrated Thanksgiving. Never mind the pilgrims. You know, we just celebrated a time of plenty, a time of harvest, a time of letting go, of shedding. And I was reminded of that after I picked up cedar and I walked further and I found a pigeon feather, a whole bird clan, a whole pigeon. You know, animals molt. Birds let go of their feathers. What was I going to say? Birds let go of their feathers. Snakes shed their skin. Serpent, healer, skin. Letting go, shedding the skin. The scales fall from your eyes. It's biblical, and you see in a new way. What do you want to see? What are you willing to see? What are you willing to open your eyes to? My name is Anthony Rodriguez, and Walking Crow, and this is a Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. Call in. Give us a call at 713-955-0332. Push 1 to get out of listening mode. Tell us what you have to say. Tell us how you want to heal. Tell us that you want to heal. Do you want to heal? Have you healed? And if you've healed, call in and tell us how. Call in and tell us how. I know you're listening out there. I know you're listening in the 510. I know you're listening in the 218. I know you're listening on Maui. I have a friend in Maui listening to today, and she's always listening. She has an alarm set on her phone that tells her it's time for this Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show, and that makes me happy. So as I walked further yesterday, and in my abundance of acorns and cedar and feathers, I came to a place where I gathered sage, and I drummed and I sang and I prayed and I gave thanks. I offered tobacco to Mother Earth and to ask for permission to take sage. And in my abundance, I went and I only took what I needed. I took what I needed, and the aroma was incredible. And my hands were all dirty and sticky, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sometimes when you're healing, you have to get dirty. Sometimes when you're baking, you break a few eggs. To get something delicious and get something warm and enjoyable. What is it that you want for the holidays, and how is it you want to get there? Are you sad? Are you mad? Are you angry because you're unemployed? Are you angry because he or she left? Are you hurt because he or she left? Are you hurt because you're not talking to somebody? Let go of those grievances. Let go of those poisons that you carry around, that we carry around. I'm not going to say you and be accusatory. I'm the same way. I'm in the same boat. There are things I have to let go of. There are things I have to let go of right here, right now. To get what? To be here right now. Right here, right now. That's it, and that's all. I want to be happy. I want to live in my heart. I want to live in my smile. I want to live in this space which is called my skin. I want to live in this place which is called oh, excuse me. My skin's reacting. I want to live in this place that's called my skin right here, right now, in a good way, in a way of beauty, in the beauty way, like my elders would say. Live in the way of beauty, and in the beauty way. There's so much to be grateful for. So much. And I'm sitting next to a window in the studio, and I can see the puffy clouds, the cumulus nimbus, and I see the blue sky behind it, and the trees, and the squirrels running around the trees, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for today. Last night I was feeling a little down because I was feeling down. Not everybody needs to know why, but as soon as I felt myself feeling down and I told somebody about it, it changed my perspective. It changed the downer to an upper. I went from root to shoot, from root to my crown chakra, root to shoot. I like to call it that. And in an instant, and just because I told somebody what I was going through and what I was feeling, and well, they said you never have every right to feel that way, and it made me feel better, and it made me step away from the way I was feeling. So there is a way, and how do you want to be called off the ledge? You don't have to go out on the ledge because it's Christmas time. You don't want to, you don't have to go on the ledge with drinking and with substance either. There's people are drinking eggnog, and people are going to be drinking all kinds of things at parties and doing all kinds of things and festivities of celebration of the holiday season. But you got to be careful too, because sometimes our sadness pops up in ways we don't notice, and it may not be we may not be wearing it on our sleeve, but when we're at a party and we start to drink and we start to get melancholy without saying anything to anybody, 2 drinks becomes 3 drinks becomes 4 drinks becomes 5. Then we find ourselves behind the wheel of a car and maybe behind bars, and bars and cars don't mix. And what do you want to give yourself? How do you want to deal with the melancholy of the holidays, the melancholy of the heartache, the melancholy of the hurt, the melancholy of the sadness in your life that you feel? It's okay to feel the sadness, but you don't have to use substance behind it to mask it, because it doesn't mask it. It just makes it worse. And I know from experience, I did that. I drank for a lifetime. I drank for 20 years. And one day during Christmas time, in fact, today's the 6th? Today's December 6th. Is today Pearl Harbor Day, or is that tomorrow? Anyways, December 6th, exactly, 9 days after my father passed on September 6th. December 6th, I was driving home from partying, not even a party, it was just partying. And I remember seeing Christmas lights and all those things, and then the Christmas lights went on behind me, red and blue, and LAPD officers pulled me over and had their way with me, and found myself, behind bars. Bars and cars don't mix, and I'm going to say it right here, right now. But that was that also at the same time. I want to thank Judge Michael Knight of Division 101, the Van Nuys Muni Court. He sentenced me to 26 meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. I showed up to day 27, and that was my best day ever. Day 27 was my best day ever. In a lifetime of days, that was my best day ever, because I chose to show up for myself. And how do you want to show up for yourself? Can you show up for yourself? Instead of taking, taking the third drink, be a teetotaler. Enjoy the drink, but enjoy the people who you're with. Enjoy the food that's there. Enjoy the ambiance. Try not to enjoy your depression, your hurt, your wound, your trauma, Isn't it time that we let go of that? Isn't it time that we stopped? Isn't it time that we stepped into our power, our third chakra, into our root, our connection to others, second chakra, our root. And how do you do that, Anthony? Well, sit still, stand still, and take a breath, and breathe into your feet, and allow your energy feet to sink into Mother Earth. Allow them to sink into Mother Earth, and allow Mother Earth's energy to flow upward into your feet and through up your shins and your calves and up past your knees and to your hamstrings and your quadriceps, up into your buttocks, into your sacrum. Allow the energy to flow, making a connection to Mother Earth, becoming well-rooted, well-grounded. And allow your roots to sink down. Allow your feet to be grounded into Mother Earth. Be the tree that doesn't get knocked down by the four winds of anxiety, depression, stress, and anger. Just to name a few of the winds. Ground and come into your fire, your fuego, your connection with others. And in connecting with others, you come into your fire, your fuego, telling jokes and telling stories and feeling good about yourself and feeling good about the people you're with, and feeling love and sharing love. 4th chakra, heart space, and not lighting up that cigarette to fill that heart space with what you don't need. Fill that heart space with what you want. Love, conversation, nurturing a conversation at Christmas time, a time of rejuvenation, a time of giving, a time of renewal. That person that we celebrate at this time had to die in and of himself and will die in and of himself like the acorn to become the mighty oak. That's the story that's told. That's the story that I love. That's the story that I believe. Is it true? I don't know. Guess what? I wasn't there. But it's the legacy of that story is right here, right now, and it lives in me. Because I am. I am what? I am the I am. I am godlike as well. And I will die in and of myself to be reborn. Do you want to be reborn? What is it you want for yourself? It's Christmas time. Share something with somebody. I've been driving around with Levi's 501s in my trunk and a couple of jackets and a pair of slacks, and I want to give them to somebody. I want to give them to somebody that needs them. And I put that out on social media, and somebody said, "Well, you can take them to a facility." I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's easy, But there's people on the street. There's people that I know. There's people that I'm aware of, or people that I'm not aware of, who don't have, and they're not going to tell you that they don't have because pride and ego kill us. They won't let us say what we need. They won't let us tell people that we're hungry. They won't not let us tell people that we have a toothache. They won't let us tell people that we don't have any money in our pocket and we don't have any food at home. That shouldn't be the case. Pride and ego has no place in healing. What is it that you want? What is it you need? I have some blue jeans, they're beautiful. I just can't wear them because I'm too thin now. They fall off of me. I look like a hobo trying to fill clothes that I can't fill. I'm not saying they're hobo clothes. Please don't misunderstand. But they're clothes that don't fit me, and they're beautiful. And I've probably worn them maybe 10 times. And, they're not going to get worn anymore by me because I'm too thin. But somebody can use them. I'm not charging for them. I'm going to give them to somebody. If you know somebody, send them to me. Let them call me at 818-442-1717, and I'll drive over there and I'll take them to you as a Christmas gift, not even a Christmas gift, only because it's Tuesday. How about that? 713-955-0332 is the number to call in, ask a question, get a healing. What is it that you have to say? How is it that you want to walk through the holidays? How is it that you would like to walk through and not fall into the trap of depression, the trap of anxiety, the trap of failure, the trap of hurt, the trap of being wounded, the trap of the trauma that we have suffered over and over and over again? We can end those traumas right here, right now. We can end that anxiety right here, right now by being right here, right now. Not 2 hours from now, not tonight, not yesterday, not this morning, right here, right now. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and this is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And I want to thank you for coming. We're at the half hour, and I think we're going to take a little commercial break, and we'll be back, and hopefully we'll have some callers. No, we're not going to take a commercial break. Hold on to that. Let's go ahead and go to the 626 and see what you have to say. This is Anthony. Who am I speaking with? Hello? Hello? Are you there? Hello? Who am I speaking to? Hello? Hello? You're on the air. How can I talk? Who am I speaking with? From the 626. Hello there. Who am I speaking with? I think we may have lost somebody. I'm not sure. Hello again. Are you there? Who am I speaking with? Okay. Well, we're going to go on, and let's go ahead and go to a commercial break, and maybe when we come back, they'll be there. Okay. All right. We'll try again later. Let's go to commercial break. Thank you.
Goldilocks Productions is home to the most gifted and talented holistic professionals. Goldilocks Productions presents holistic, spiritual, and metaphysical radio shows that are insightful, inspirational, and healing. Do you have a business in the holistic healing, metaphysical, or spiritual market? Would you like to have your own weekly, 1-hour radio or TV show? Goldilocks Productions will produce your own live or pre-recorded internet or radio show. For more information, visit the Goldilocks Productions website. That's GoldilocksProductionsCT.com. And that's Goldilocks with a Y, GOLDYLOCKS, Goldilocks Productions CT for Connecticut.com. Once again, that's Goldilocks Productions CT.com. And be sure to visit the Goldilocks Productions channel on Blog Talk Radio and Ustream.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Goldilocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Well, welcome back. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and this is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. I think we lost the caller that was online. We couldn't hear them. So if you're out there and you're listening, go ahead and please feel free to call back. We'd like to talk to you and hear what you have to say, or hear the questions that you want to ask. Or if you want a healing, we can do that as well. Today we're talking about what we can do to enjoy the holidays without falling into the trap of depression. Depression is an ugly monster. It's a big gorilla that grips us sometimes, and you know we sometimes we don't know how to deal with it, and we don't know when it creeps up. You know, and like I said, it's an ugly darkness. And speaking of darkness, I want to share something, and I sent this over to my producer, Reverend Tiffany White, Sagewoman. And by the way, I wanted to say thank you to Reverend and Reverend Tiffany, and just say thank you for the opportunity to do this show. This show has changed my life, and I know it's changing the lives of others. And I know that there is something to take from every show, even if it's just a tidbit, even if it's just a morsel, even if it's just a little kibble. It's a nugget. I know that I hear myself say things sometimes that I can't believe that came out of my mouth. But I know that those things are being given to me by Source, by Spirit, by Creator, Great Spirit, the 4 directions, and those medicines. But what I want to share, I sent this over. I just sent her a photo that I had taken, and it was just a little quote that I put out. It's look past the darkness into the light. In the darkness, you will find your way, and in the light, you will find you. The dark is never what it seems. I come from I'm Mexican American, and in Mexico, we revere the darkness. I have the practice of sweat lodge, and I see more in the darkness than I see in the light. When I sit in that sweat lodge and it's hot and I'm uncomfortable and I'm sitting in a puddle of mud because I can't stop sweating and I'm releasing everything, and I close my eyes. I don't even know if they're closed or open, but I can't see. But what I do see are the spirits that come and those that come to talk to me and come to sit with me through that experience. And it's in the darkness that I find the light. It's in the darkness that I let go. I let go, and I come into the medicines that I come into. I'm an energy healer. I just didn't become an energy healer because I said I was an energy healer. I'm a medicine man, and some people would call me a shaman. But I didn't get to this point, and I didn't become these things because I just became these things. Experience came with it, learning and being willing and open to the learning and to the teachers that I have. In fact, I sent my teachers a message this morning saying hello, and I'm going to say them by name right now. Emma, Deborah, Marsh, Master Sayo, Aho, and Jeannie Love. Thank you for the medicine that you share with me, that you allow me to come into, I hope, on my own as well. I was with Emma when Crow walked up to us and walked up to me, and I had that experience with Walking Crow. I just didn't make up a name and start calling myself Walking Crow. I had the experience, and it was a beautiful experience, and I was sitting on a bench under an oak tree, under an oak tree with my teacher, Emma, when I had that experience, and she was witness to the experience. And then it was probably almost a year later when she anointed me and gave me the name Walking Crow. I was willing to be open and willing to see the things that I never noticed before. This morning on my walk, I was open to all of what I was ready to see, and I was greeted by a tree full of crows. And there's something I didn't mention about yesterday's abundance as I was walking. Part of my abundance was, as I was walking, I saw this crow perched over a deceased animal in the middle of the road. Well, me being who I am and having the medicine that I have, I didn't want that crow to get hit by a car like that deceased animal did. So I walked over, and crow flew up into the tree, and I kind of kicked that rodent on the side of the road where crow could eat him or lunch, freely without fear of getting hit by a car. Now, I didn't have to do that, but there are people who do things for me to help me along my way as well. I hope, and I want to be thankful. I am thankful. I'm grateful for that, and I want to do that not only for crow and animals, but I want to do that for people. So I carry around those clothes in my car, and the right person will show and say, you know what, I'm a size 33 or 34. I could use some nice jeans and a couple of jackets. And I give freely, and they say that's a saying in AA as well. As a matter of fact, it's freely I give. It doesn't cost anything to give. It doesn't cost anything to give. And I want to just say something. And I keep talking about my left hand of divine feminine and the right hand of divine masculine. And when I say it, and I want you to do it with me if you're out there. I want you to take your left hand and stick it out to the left side, out to your side. And I want you to say, this is my left hand. This is the hand of the divine feminine. This is the hand of receiving. And I want you to take your right hand and extend it out to your right. And do it as I say it, if you will. and say, this is my right hand. This is the hand of divine masculine. This is the hand of giving or moving forward. And I want you to take your hands and open them, and I want you to bring them together into the center. And as I move to center, as I stand in my divine feminine, divine masculine, I bring my hands together one over the other in alignment as she, man, Sha, man, shaman. I am not alone in being medicine man, shaman. You are with me. You are when you say you are, when you're ready to take your space and come into your third chakra power, your fire, your flavor, your I can, I will, I do, aho. Esteem. Stand in your root, aho, and make the connection with you, yourself, and others. You come into your power as shaman, come into your power as medicine man, and the lessons start to come, and you start to see and speak differently. You start to see things that make sense to you. You start to see things that didn't make sense to you. Like depression doesn't serve me anymore. Depression hasn't served me for 20 years. I mean, and if anybody knows that, I went through a tough time this year. I was unemployed for 2 years. As of late, my clientele has kind of like dropped off. You know, when you're a healer, people get healed. Go figure. People get healed, and they go away. They don't come to see you anymore. You know, and my workshops, there's been a lot of changes, and the people haven't been coming, and that's just the way it is. And I have to accept that. It's not my time right here, right now. I hope. And that happened last night. You know, I was in a place, I was ready to, I set up my drum, I show up, I always show up. And the people didn't, but it's Christmas time. People are doing other things with their time and their money and their energy. And that's okay. That's okay. But I've had a tough time, and I try not to let that get me down. And I don't let it get me down, you know, because I got to come home and spend more time with my wife, you know. She's all lovely and sparkly, and it was great to be able to come home and be with her and make dinner for her, you know, and do those sorts of things and not wallow in, you know, what I didn't get today. You know, what I didn't get today. 713-955-0332. This is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. What is the medicine that you need? What is the medicine that you want? What do you want to heal from? What do you want to move towards? My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. Aho mitakiase. I would love to hear from you. If you were at the 626, whoever called in, you know, go ahead and you know, push 1 to get out of listen mode. I'd like to hear what you have to say. I would like to hear your voice and know who you are. Aho. And maybe not know who you are. I don't know. So out of the darkness and into the light. Out of the darkness and into light. And you know what I like about Christmas time, and I said to my wife the other day, one of my favorite things about Christmas time is the Christmas lights. Well, I'm a light worker. So today, before the show, I spent my morning putting lights out on our little balcony and around our windows and in our kitchen, and that faces out towards the rest of the building, and over in our bedroom, which faces out towards the street. And you know, I love Christmas, and I love the lightness of it. I love the lights, and I love the warmth. And you know, why not? I don't have to live in my darkness, but there's nothing wrong with the darkness, because it's the darkness that catapults me into the 4th dimension of light. Aho. They tell me that in Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcoholics Anonymous. I will be catapulted into the 4th dimension, a 4th dimension. And I have been catapulted into the 4th dimension over and over and over and over and over. And what I've learned to do from all that catapulting is I've learned to trudge the road of happy destiny. What is the road of happy destiny? What does trudging mean? Trudging is not grudging. Trudging means walking with purpose. I have a purpose. What is your purpose? Do you want a purpose? Is your purpose to get through the holidays without being consumed by your feelings, by being consumed with sadness, being consumed with anger, fear, hurt, anxiety, stress? What is your purpose? Is your purpose to walk with purpose? Is your purpose to come into somebody else's life and say, hey, my name's so-and-so. Can I help you? Can I help you carry your packages? Can I wash your car? Can I cut your grass? Are you hungry? Can I give you something to eat? There's going to be a lot of people out there in the parking lots and on the streets. You see them, and they're pulling suitcases, and they're living in tents. They're setting up tents on the street. They're there. They're the have-nots. and they need help. What better way to come out of a depression and my stress and anxiety than to help somebody else? I think it was Gandhi that said that service is the path to happiness. Service is the path to happiness. Man, what an amazing thought. I would have liked to have met Gandhi, but I meet him here and now, through his words, through his legacy. That is his legacy. What is your legacy going to be? Do you want to have a legacy? Do you want to leave a legacy? I know I do. And I want to leave a legacy of giving people or sharing my medicine with people. And, there's a lot of people that may not agree with what I have to say. And so what? I'm not concerned about whether people agree with me or not. But you know what? I want to be able to carry a message that's good, that's good and kind and nurturing and in the way of beauty, like my elders say, aho, aho. I step into the darkness and I walk into the light. Aho. What an amazing feat. Anyways, give us a call, 713-955-0332. It's a quarter of. We have 15 minutes left in the show. And I'd like to hear from you. Who knows? Maybe that 626 person was somebody that I know, because I know a lot of people in the 626. And I know a lot of folks are listening. So don't be shy. You don't have to use your real name if you don't want to. Anyways, so getting through the holidays, I had a beautiful experience with my family for Thanksgiving, and I think that's where the jumping off point of the holidays is. And it was great to just be with my family, my brothers and sisters, my nephews, my nieces. Beautiful Vanessa was there. My stepchildren weren't there. They were with their extended families as well. And, we did something, Vanessa and I did something with them later. But what an amazing start to the holidays, to start with family. And if you don't have family, and if you don't know where to find family, or if you're disconnected from your family, find your way to me. Send me an email at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com. I know there are people out there trying to put their families back together. If you need encouragement, if you need a kind word, reach out to me at 818-442-1717. If I don't answer, I'll call you back, and I'll say, how can I help you? What is it that I need to say to you? What is it that I can do for you? What kind of words can I say? 713-955-0332. Go ahead and call in. Whatever you have to say, whatever you want to hear. What is it that you need? The holidays are here, and they don't have to be dark and depressing. They don't. If you're struggling with family members, or if a marriage or a relationship is broken up, he or she is left, and you're left feeling alone and hurt and angry and worried. And there are those of us who have been there, done that, and we like to help you. How is it we can help you? The 626 is back on. Who am I speaking to? This is 626.
Hi, this is Audrey.
Hi, Audrey. How
are you doing today?
It's Insights with Audrey, calling from Covina. I'm so glad you're back.
I wasn't sure if that was me or not. But right now that you're talking about family and being disconnected for the holidays, my husband's going through that. He's estranged from his brother, and his brother has a drinking problem. He's an alcoholic, and they're estranged, but he sees him all the time. And right now, when you said, Thanksgiving kicked off the holidays, my husband gets really down for the holidays, and that's usually when his health problems start creeping up. It's happened 2 years in a row, and this is the third year in a row, and it always gets triggered for Thanksgiving. And I just want to know, what are your insights?
Well, I happen to know a little about your husband because of our conversation. But tell us some of the health issues that he's dealing with right now, and then we'll start from there.
Well, a couple of days before Thanksgiving, he's always had gout. He was born with gout, high uric acid, and and a few days before Thanksgiving, his left leg, his knee, had a gout flare-up.
Okay.
And it got really bad, and then now it's transferred to his right knee. So now it's both knees.
So legs, and I'm going to start at that point. Legs are root chakra, security, safety, well-being. It's a holiday times, and people don't feel safe. They don't feel secure. They feel less than, especially when you have problems like that in family where there's broken connection and you don't know how to repair it. You feel helpless sometimes. You feel less than in your third chakra. Root chakra is important, and if you're well rooted, you can be you can start. It's a start. Being well rooted and well grounded is a start to helping and curing and healing yourself, especially in the left leg. Left leg gout. Gout is ground root. Left leg is receiving. Left leg is receiving. It's hard to receive when you feel less than, when you don't feel empowered. And right leg is moving forward. How do I move forward when I can't receive? How do I move forward when I don't know how to move forward? And sometimes there's no answer. But praying for an answer and starting the process of asking for help. And sometimes, it was funny. It's a Wonderful Life where George is praying to God. He's not a praying man. He said it to God, but he started to pray. And he started to cry. And it was the beginning of his healing. He didn't know that he had been healing the whole time. He had no idea that he was surrounded by angels and helpers and healers, And what happened was he started to pray. And grounding and praying and coming and being quiet and letting go of those, of whatever the hurt is between him and his brother. It's not his to carry. It's not his, to live in a broken connection. His job is to bridge the connection. If he's aware that there's a problem, his brother doesn't care. He's drinking. Spirit's in, spirit out. What kind of, So, and I've met your husband. He's a nice guy. He's a really mellow guy, and he's the kind of guy that would walk into a room and calm it down because he's just chill. And I personally think that scares his brother. But he doesn't know how to be that. He has to drink to do that, and then he's not that. And, and just a matter of what's your husband's name? Tony?
Tony.
Yes, Tony. Tony just needs to settle into his feet, settle into his legs, allow his energy legs to sink into Mother Earth and set that intention and start to do that. That's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. Allow Mother Earth's energy to flow upward and set the intention of that and allow it to walk it through and up into the second chakra. The chakra of connection, water, connection to others, where we create, co-create, procreate, where we heal, where we feel. This is where we feel, and allowing that energy to rise up into the third chakra, our fire fuego. It's hard to give love and feel love when we don't feel, when we have low self-esteem. It's hard to be in our heart. And sometimes we give ourselves, as I mentioned earlier in the show, sometimes we give ourselves substances or things that don't help. They're a temporary fix. Let's say, I mentioned cigarettes earlier. It's a temporary fix that expands in our lungs, expands in our heart space, and then it's fleeting and it goes away. And there's no feeling of that. So what is it that you want to give yourself, really? And give yourself. This is a time of giving. It's okay to give to yourself. It's Christmas time. Give yourself some love. Give yourself the things that would make you feel good. What would make you feel good? And making a disconnection for a minute from his brother and saying, wait a minute, I want to be able to give something to my brother, but what do I need? What do I want for me? Do I need happiness? Do I want happiness? Do I want nurture? Do I need to be nurtured? Do I need to nurture myself? What are the good things that I would like to give to myself that make me feel good? And tell somebody, me, I'll use myself for an instance. I have to tell on myself. I can't just go through what I go through and not tell somebody, I have to tell somebody where I'm at, and that's a jumping off point too with grounding. I have to tell somebody, because when I'm blocked in my fifth chakra, I live in my head. And when I'm living in my head, I'm not living in my body. And the manifestation of dis-ease, of sickness, and receiving chemicals into my body that aren't good for me starts to take place and take hold. How do I let go of that? And it's done by starting to speak. Once you start to speak and you start to ground and you start to be in your body and come out of your head, I'm going to give my brother a call, regardless of his response. Say, hey man, what are you doing? I was just thinking about you. You doing okay? Just thought that I was thinking about you, and that's all you guys saying. Hang up. That's how those things start. That's how the bridges start to. That's how we start to cross bridges that we didn't know how to cross before. The heart space, fourth chakra, it's the bridge from the body to the higher self. It's the bridge. There's a reason that air, lungs, we all need air to breathe. And if we can share our voice with somebody, just to say hello, just to say, are you okay? Just to say, I love you, or even if I don't like you right now, but I love you and I want to be able to like you. Sometimes those things are hard to say, but we have to say them. It's a start.
Yeah, and I think that's where he's stuck now. It's like he's over the past. My husband, his brother's not. His brother's still like the first day it happened. They're first falling out, and my husband's already in the place that it's like, you know what, it happened for a reason. You're better for your family, even though he has his drinking problem. He's a lot more responsible because he's out on his own. Yeah. And my husband, he's in that place that you said, it's like, I'm grateful for what I have, for my family. And I want, he wants him to be part of our family, but not with his drinking. He knows he can't be toxic around our kids like that. And he's at that point now where he wants to say, hey, you know what? I think about you and I care about you. I don't like the state that you're in, but I think of you. But he just doesn't know how to get to that bit, that he doesn't know how to cross that bridge or even connect that bridge at this point.
Well, and maybe that's a Christmas card and not a conversation. You know what I mean? You can say it with fewer words, and the meaning, and the meaning is there, the intention is there. And you don't have to use a lot of words to get the point across. Sometimes a war is started with just a shot across the bow, with a cannon. So, just, a plain old Christmas card, or even a note, hey man, just thinking about you, love you, I wish we could bridge this gap, and that's it. That's it, and that's home. And that's a start, but because once you do that, let's say once Tony does that, that'll set the wheels in motion of change for him, because once we do things we're not accustomed to, that make us feel good. One becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes 4, becomes 5, becomes 6. We start to do them more and more. There was things that I didn't like to do. In fact, I had to do that this week. There's some people that issues happened over the year, and tomorrow I'm driving somebody to the airport, because I reached out to say hello, and let them know that I was thinking about them, and that's it, and that was all. So I'm glad you called to remind me of that, because it's actually something that happened this morning. And while I was having another conversation, they were texting me, we were texting back and forth. So it was nice to be able to be in that space and say, yes, I'll do that for you, So, we lead by example.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. By the way, everybody, Audrey is an amazing medium. And if you want to have somebody read you or do a reading for you, this is the person to do that. We're having an event. Audrey, can you tell us about the event that we're doing on Sunday?
Oh, yeah. Sunday, the 11th. It's going to be in Santa Clarita. You could find information on I Am Spiritual and on your page, Anthony Rodriguez's Facebook page, and also on Insights with Audrey on Facebook. You can get all the details. It starts at 5 and it'll go on till 9, and some really good, exciting things are going to happen. Anthony's going to be singing in spirit with the native drum, and I will be connecting with spirit and giving you a gallery reading, and then moving on to closing up spirit with Anthony's drumming and singing. And I'll be moving on to mediumship in caustic wax readings, which is an art form of bringing in spirit and having spirit dictate the wax on a piece of paper, and you get to take that home with you, a personal gift from spirit. A lot of things are going to happen. There's going to be food. There's going to be fun. It's going to be just a really good time bringing in spirit and being with spirit and higher source.
All right. Well, Audrey, I want to thank you for calling in. It's 2 o'clock and we have to check out. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. This has been the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show, and I want to thank Audrey, Insights for Audrey, for calling in and being a guest with us. Thank you, Audrey. Have a great day.
Well, thank you. You too.
Right. Bye. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Why does getting to the airport have to be such a dilemma? Driving, parking, finagling a ride. Well, if you take Uber, it doesn't. It's easy. Just install the Uber app. Enter your destination, confirm your location, and within minutes, a car will pick you up. Whether you're catching the red eye or taking off at the crack of dawn, you can request a ride 24/7. So avoid the hassle. Install the Uber app now and take your first ride today. Uber, the better way to get there.